You might have heard the saying before where they say, you are what you eat. But you probably haven't considered this before when it actually affects your manifestations, the things that you attract in your life. Why? Because everything is energy and energy is everything. So if everything is a vibrational frequency and you're consuming a vibrational frequency, it will for sure shift your vibrations. Therefore, because like attracts like, and those vibrations attract, then you will tap into a different frequency, probably unconsciously. So some things are quite detrimental in what you eat. And we, a lot of the time, consume these daily without even knowing. So I'm going to break down a few foods that will be good for manifestation, a few foods that may be the other side of what you want. And we're going to break it down inside this video. Most of the things that I learned in this video are from my master, Grandmaster Akarshana, when I went up into the Himalayas for my initiation and for the pilgrimage. So I look forward to sharing with you. But before we get into it, show reel. Hit it. What's up guys, Namaste, this is Sri Akarshana here, and in this video I'm going to break down for you just a little bit about how food affects our manifestation. Okay, so as I said in the intro, a lot of the things to understand is scientific. It's not something mystical, it's not something that's a secret. It's something that people just don't bring to their awareness, their consciousness, because how marketing is, when you see how food is marketed, how toothpaste contains fluoride, how bars and pubs and these type of things, parties and alcohol is and smoking in movies and all these things, they're conditioning to make it look cool, or we're supposed to be doing that, but it all affects our vibrational frequencies because everything is energy and energy is everything. That's all. Okay. Now, is it that when I share with you and break down some of the foods that may shock you, is it that you must cut them all out completely? Well, not really. It's just a personal choice. I'm just saying that everything is an energy and everything affects. If you completely cut out everything that I say, then maybe your manifestations will be enhanced. Well, in fact, for sure it will be, right? But does it really need to be on that level? Because again, life is about balance. So you need to do what is right for your body and what is right for your desires and what you want to get out of life, right? So I'm going to move on to the first obvious ones first, which is things like alcohol, nicotine, any form of drugs and things like that. What does that do? It's very simple. It distorts the mind. We need to understand when it comes to law of attraction, it's very simple. Thoughts create reality. If we have any distractions, any things that distort and make us think about other things or more things, what can it do? It will distract the mind. You start thinking, your mind will be wandering, and when it wanders, then you will be manifesting all kinds of things. So you could potentially manifest a lot of chaos in your life, right? And so some will argue the point and say, yeah, but you know, when I'm upset, I drink alcohol and I don't think about anything. Actually, it helps, right? But then it's damaging your physical body, right? And your physical body, because of mind, body, and spirit connection, everything is interconnected. So slowly, if your body is deteriorating, actually so is your spiritual energy, right? So is your mind. Your mind is also deteriorating. So maybe in the short term, you think it's a short fix, but it's just an addiction that is kind of like a bit like escapism. But there's much healthier ways to actually calm the mind, for example, through meditation and through breathwork practices, right? You can find plenty of those on this channel, right? So now, with that said, what other things, right? You have things like, okay, I'm just going to go on to something that's a little bit more commercial that you're probably intaking every single day and you don't even realize it, which is fluoride. Fluoride probably comes from the faucet, your tap in your kitchen, the water that you drink. Fluoride is also in probably 99% of the toothpaste that most people are using. So what does fluoride do? Well, actually, fluoride is a direct link to the pineal gland, which dims the pineal gland so that you cannot, it's all about decalcifying. So when these things happen, what happens is it interrupts with the third eye. So actually your intuition power, your intuitiveness isn't as great when that happens. And if your intuitiveness, in your connection, your downloads, your channeling, your ideas, your solution is not as intuitive, then of course it's going to affect your manifestations. It's going to affect your dreams, your goals, your desires. It's going to affect the success, the level of success in your life, right? Is it a big deal? Are there successful people in this world who use fluoride toothpaste all their life? Of course there is. I'm saying all of these things are small contributors. All added up, it all accumulates, that's all. Now I'm going to move on to some things that you probably don't think about, okay? So we're going to go on to meats first. Now I know this is going to be very controversial. There's going to be a lot of contradicting information out there, right? And people say, no, humans are supposed to eat meat and all the rest of it. Okay, so look, the thing is, if you're out in the forest and then for survival, you're killing an animal and you eat it, that's to keep you alive, then that's a whole different story. But the practice, and this is what I love about my master's teachings when we were up in the Himalayas, he was saying that this is not a practice for veganism or anything. Our practice in our lineage is all about what? Is all about compassion, that's all. Because if we understand everything is vibration in how the animals are, how they treat the animals, how they kill the animals, all these different things, they hold a vibrational frequency. And if it's out of a certain vibrational frequency and we consume that negative vibrational frequency, that torture, that trauma, whatever it is, then obviously we become what we eat. That's why we say, right? You are what you eat. So on a vibrational frequency level, you are that. Therefore, you attract more negative things in your life, right? Now, this isn't to say that, oh, you must be a vegetarian to be successful. You must be a vegetarian to manifest the things you want. It's not true. But I'm saying it all contributes towards the vibrational frequency. So if you can refrain from doing that, then obviously it's going to be better, right? So things like meat, things like eggs, same thing in the whole line of how the eggs are created. If you've ever looked into it before, there's a whole sequence of negative energies and doings that through nature that produces that. But if it's all actually organic, which is quite an interesting thing because the word organic today is just thrown everywhere, but a lot of the things that are organic, that appear to be organic are still not organic, right? I'm sure a lot of you will know what I'm talking about. Now, but when it comes to, let's say for example, like when we were training up in the Himalayas, Grandmaster was like, oh, if it's milk up here, then we're drinking milk, it's fine, it's not veganism. Because why? Yes, it's fresh milk, but it's not. They're not locking the cows up in a certain way. They're not using certain chemicals, and they're not injecting them with anything. So it's all natural, right? It's all just part of nature. There's no hurting anyone in the process of it. So the practice is compassion. The compassion leads to karma, leads to vibrational frequency, and therefore what you attract, right? And these are the ones that are not so obvious, the final ones that I want to share with you. That's onion, garlic, and mushroom. Okay? Depends on the particular practice that you're doing. And I know some people will relate to this as Jainism, but it is not Jainism because Jainism is talking about things, not eating anything that has root, that is buried underground, for example, that grows underground, for example, potatoes and things like that. However, this is strictly no onion, no garlic, no mushroom. Why is it that we do this in our practices? Actually, this is for deeper practices. If you want to go through deep spiritual awakening practices, a spiritual journey, you want to open up your third eye, you want to travel through different dimensions, right? This will really, really help. Why? Well, let me explain a few things. If you take an onion, you know how powerful that is, right? It's like a medicine. If you take an onion, you cut it in half, your body already reacts to it, right? What reacts? You start crying. So daily consumption of that, think about that a moment. You'll be shocked actually. If you go into the supermarket, all the ingredients that you ever buy, all the snacks you ever buy, right? Most likely if you look at the back of it, it'll contain either onion or garlic, right? Only when you come to quit it, you'll realize that you pretty much cannot eat anything in the supermarket, right? And so when you look at that, should you be really intaking something that's so powerful every single day? Will it really affect your body? How will it affect your body? How will it affect your energy, right? It's overpowering. And that's why actually it dims the senses because it's overpowering. It dims also the taste in the tongue. That's why you could, if you ate an onion, afterwards you eat anything else, you won't be able to taste it. You only taste the onion. Same with garlic, right? Because it's so strong. And tongue is taste, it's a sensory. Sensory leads to intuition and connection. So all these things are intertwined. Again, is it a big deal? Could you have a spiritual guru who eats onion garlic? Of course you can, right? People can still have these powers, but again, this video is all about enhancing your manifestations, enhancing your spiritual journey. That's all. Enhancing your awakening journey, right? Same thing with garlic. Actually, it's depicted in movies already, right? We always say, you see in movies what they use garlic. They use garlic to fend off like spirits and zombies and things like that, right? So why is it they do that? Actually, it's depicted that way because it's powerful. But we need to understand garlic is like a medicine as well. In health magazines, you'll see, oh, garlic is really good for the body. It is good for the body. Nobody's denying that. It's good for your joints and things, right? It's good to keep diseases away from your body. But actually, it's good for your physical body, not so good for your spiritual body, right? It's overpowering for the spirit. And so what we do instead of that, if you were to do like, let's say, yoga practice, or you do consistent yoga, body movement, and you're working on your joints, you don't need to intake any medicines to be able to get your joints going well, right? So if you're in practice, then cutting out garlic is fine. If you're not in practice, then I think that maybe you should eat garlic, right? It depends what your goal is. And the final thing is mushroom. Mushroom is a minor factor. Mushroom, just normal mushroom, not magic mushrooms or anything, but normal mushroom, just a little bit confuses the mind. What does it do? It distorts the mind a little bit. So these all have these properties within just mushrooms, right? The fungus, that how it's created and what chemicals are inside there, it distorts the mind ever so slightly. So is it a big deal? Not a big deal. It depends on your role, your purpose in this lifetime, what your goal is. At the end of the day, you should listen to your body, right? What does your body want? And so this is just for your information. If anybody has gone through any of our 108 spiritual journeys before, trainings before, then you probably know all the explanations, and you also have experienced before the power when you cut all of this out and you do the correct practices, how powerful the awakening practices are. So if this video has been of any interest to you whatsoever, or you've learned anything at all, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also comment below. Let us know any of the things that you've quitted before, any of the things you've cut out before, any experiences that you guys have, so that you can share with more of the world, so that they get an understanding of what other people are going through too, or growing through. And finally, if you're new to this channel and you haven't already, comment below, let us know where you guys have tuned in from. Click the first link inside the description to download the Discord and join our Discord group. We've got about 30,000 plus conscious spirits inside there, speaking law of attraction, doing meditations together. It's very powerful for manifestations. So make sure to join that Discord link. It's the first link in the description. And finally, if you're extremely new to this channel, and you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. That's a little bell sign, by the way. Because this year, we're dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, I'm signing out. Namaste. Pranam. Namo Himalaya.